Hey guys, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the channel. Thanks for subscribing if you're subscribed. If not, please subscribe for a bunch more awesome reviews for all kinds of RC and tech. Anyways, today we're going to be doing the HUBSAN X4 Star Pro, also known as the H507A quadcopter. Now this is similar to the H502, a brushed quadcopter from HUBSAN, a little mini that is going to save you some money because if you're first getting into it, you don't really want to get a brushless quad that has a lot of power and could hurt somebody. You want something like this that's light, it's not too powerful. This one has GPS. So just like the H502, it's got GPS, but this version you control with your phone. You're just going to be controlling it with your phone or tablet via the Wi-Fi link to the quad. But this one has some crazy advanced functions, just like some of the more expensive H501S quads have with the GPS and all that stuff. This is just like a smaller non-brushless model. So we're going to do a full review today. We're going to be unboxing this, inspecting it, setting it up, getting it connected to the phone, going out there to the park, doing a full flight test. So stay tuned and let's get started. Okay, so the H507A, you can see here that it is a little brushed quad, but it has all these advanced functions: GPS, an HD camera, follow me function. It is Wi-Fi to your phone, automatic return to home, where if you lose signal or you turn off your phone or something, however it loses signal, it will fly back to its launch point automatically. So that's really great for even advanced flyers and beginner flyers. Altitude hold mode, where it will keep its altitude set. It's got only 9 minutes flight time, so this is where it's going to differ on some of the bigger H501S quads, where they have 20 minutes. This one only has a little bit less than half, 9 minutes of flight time, probably because the battery size they use. And then this one also has a waypoint, so you can draw on your phone or tablet a route and it will fly that route automatically. So cool stuff here. Let's go ahead and get started and unbox it. Okay, so just opening the top, and we are greeted with the quadcopter. It's a new design HUBSAN's going with. Kind of interesting looking design. A little more aggressive look to it. The blades are this nice bright yellow, and we can see that we do have the brushed motors down in there. They're actually right here on the side, and then the gearing inside is going to turn the propellers. So just about the same size propeller as the H502 brushed quads, but you can see it's a complete different redesign of the fuselage case. There's a little camera protector. Let's take that off. I think this might be 720. I don't think this is a 1080p. I may be wrong. This quad will be linked in the specs. You can go ahead and click on that and see what all the specs and the pricing are. But there's the camera, so it's a fixed camera. There's no stabilization there. Just gonna peel off this QR code sticker here. We can see that we have venting on the bottom. There's our power button. And then this one's kind of interesting. It looks like it has a proprietary slide lock battery. So let's see how this works. Okay, so this guy's got kind of this safety clip here. So this has to pull down, then the whole battery will pull out like this. So probably the way to do this is to push this out with your finger while you grab the battery. Maybe push your fingernail under here and pry that, and then you can pull the battery out. So let's give that a try. Yeah, so it releases once you undo that clip. So it is a proprietary battery. Some people might not like this, but if you're just buying this little thing for advanced features at a cheap cost, and you're a beginner and you want all those advanced features, it might be okay. These batteries are probably going to be fairly cheap. I wouldn't imagine they're going to be more than about $10 per battery. So maybe get a couple of these batteries to keep you going strong. These are only 550 milliamp hour battery, and that's probably why you only get 9 minutes of flight time. On the larger H501S quads, so like this one here, I actually have one here I'm reviewing as well. These ones have 2700 milliamp hour batteries, but they're a lot bigger, heavier, but they have the brushless motors, and these ones will fly for 20 minutes of flight time. I've done a lot of reviews on these guys, so go ahead and check out those if you're ready to move up from this one. These ones are awesome. These fly for 20 minutes and they have all those advanced features. It's a 7.6 volt, so that's interesting. So it's a little higher voltage than the normal 2S. It's very slim, and it just slides in the back just like that and clips in so that won't fall out. It looks like this is where you're going to slide in your micro SD memory card. So it doesn't come with one, I don't think. We'll open up these boxes in a second, but it does have a port here for a micro SD card, and that's going to record the video in that high definition straight to the card. So you'll be able to see that FPV on your phone or tablet, and also it'll record in high quality to the craft. And so you can see here on the bottom, we got these similar to the other quads they have produced. We have light cups with landing gear all in one. We can see we have some vent holes on the bottom. And what's going to happen is the propeller is spinning and it's going to push the air down through and cool the motor, and hopefully out down through the arm and out through these vents as well to kind of cool everything. It almost looks kind of like an anteater beetle or something. You can see how the back is a little higher. This is where the GPS antenna is going to be for that GPS location services, which is awesome. We'll see how this thing performs, but man, GPS in a little quad like this, they're so cool because you take off your hands off the controllers and they will just lock themselves in the air there. Even if the wind's blowing at it, it'll just fight to stay in that one spot until you're ready to control it. Anyway, that's the quad. I'm going to set that over there for just a sec. Hey, so check it out. We do get prop guards with this one. And while we're at it, let's just see how we put one of these prop guards on. So it does look like you're going to have to take off the propellers to put on the prop guards. There's a little screw there. Hopefully they have a screwdriver in the package, but you just pop that off, and then this looks like it's got clips on the propeller guard. You can see those clips. So that's just going to push over where the propeller comes out, the shaft, clip in, and then put your propeller right back on top of that. Here's the instruction manual. We'll be going over that in just a second. This box here, it looks like it's just labeled prop protection, and that's where I pulled those propeller guards out of. I'm not feeling anything else in there. Okay, so this is kind of all intertwined, so you have to kind of pull the notches out of the box and then unravel this box. And then we open it from the side here, or both sides, for easier access. And let's see everything that falls out of here. So great, they do give us a screwdriver that actually has a little silicone cap on it, so you don't puncture anything or damage anything in shipping. So that's kind of neat. I've never seen them have that before. It looks like a kind of different quality, high quality little screwdriver. Phillips head. An extra bag of screws, so that's great. Just in case you lose some screws, you got extra screws for all your hardware on the craft. And an extra set of propellers. So awesome. They're giving us a whole extra set for, you know, the newbie flyer that's going to crash, or even me. I'm crashing sometimes. I crash pretty hard even though I know how to fly, and I do mess up propellers, so that's great. And here's a battery charger. So it's a USB charger. So you plug this into a computer or, you know, a cell phone charger, and that's where we're going to put in our battery. So it is a proprietary charging system. So it looks like this is the only way you're going to be able to charge this, unless you want to cut into this cable and hook it up and make your own connection to your hobby grade high performance charger. But you just line up the slots here. It's only one way it looks like it can go in, and just slide it on in, feel that little snap on the connection, and plug that in. So as far as the manual goes, all we have is a disclaimer. We have a little propeller instructions on how to install them, kind of like I already went over with you. And then we have the X4 Star with app H507A quick start guide. And this just quickly and easily tells you how to get started with this thing. Alright guys, so I got the battery charged up, and before we get out and fly, I just want to boot this thing up and see how the app looks on the phone. So we'll go ahead and slide in the battery and power this guy up. So it looks like we're just pressing power here on the bottom, pressing and holding power until we see the lights flash. Click on our Wi-Fi, and we're looking for the HUBSAN, and there it is right away. H507A is already up. That was quick. So I'm going to click on this guy here. This has an access code, so you need to put in the access code. The default one should be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and we're going to go ahead and connect. Let's see if that all works out. There we go. So we're connected. HUBSAN application from the Android or Apple Store. You can see I have downloaded here. And we just click on it to launch it. Okay. That's just Android saying it's unavailable. The internet's unavailable. But we are connected from the phone to the craft Wi-Fi, so shouldn't be a problem. And then we're greeted with this screen on all the different devices that support this app. So currently in review of this one here, but this is the one we want, the H507A. Here's the regular H507, H216, and it looks like a gimbal. So we want to go to this guy here, which we're doing now, and we want to go enter device. Okay, so I'm presented with this window here, and it seems like whatever I click on, it goes into the manual. So it forces you to go into this manual where it's basically telling you all this information, and clicking to the right, and there's a legend here, a very good legend, is telling you all of the information that's going to pop up on the window, what the on-screen sticks do, joysticks. Learning complete, and there we go. So we are in the camera. This is pretty cool. Let's see. So it's requiring calibration. So we're going to spin it like this. Not sure if this is the best place to calibrate. You're definitely going to want to calibrate out in the field where you're going to fly. This is just for demonstration purposes, so I need to face it down and do this twisting here until that goes away. Bind aircraft to current device. Okay, you must bind your current mobile device to the aircraft so that other mobile devices cannot connect to the aircraft unless you reboot the aircraft. Okay, so it's saying please wait, bind successful. GPS accuracy test. This system needs to gather general GPS accuracy. So it's going to communicate to the phone, I guess. And so it's testing GPS accuracy here. Getting parameters of aircraft. So you probably want to be doing, like I said, this in the field. GPS accuracy failed. Okay, so you want to do that outside. Go in settings here. Cool, so we have all these parameters. So this is great. You can adjust all these parameters. That's awesome how HUBSAN has kind of upped their game here for a DJI-esque type of interface. That's pretty neat. Wow, so you can adjust all kinds of stuff. How long you want it to stay at the waypoint when you're doing your waypoint functions, all that stuff. So there's our image. Let's go ahead and see what our latency is real quick. So not very good latency. You can see that we have quite a bit of lag. That's on the laggy side of FPV. But for general slow kind of picture flying out in the open, it shouldn't be a problem. It's just when you're close proximity to stuff, you really don't want to be flying this fast and close to objects. Otherwise, you're going to have that delay from what you see and what the quadcopter's doing, so you can run into stuff fairly easy. So don't go close to things with this one, guys. So just a quick little in-depth in the application here. If I press Google here, it looks like it's trying to give us a map. Maybe that'll work outside a little better. Okay, pressing this quadcopter, we have waypoint mode, following mode, and orbit mode. Cool, so they have some new modes now because it's using the GPS of your phone. So when we do press this controller icon here, that little readout there, some of the percentages goes away for our flight characteristics. And then we have a return to home, and of course you have to be in the air and taken off first before return to home. And here's a launch. I'm not sure if I want to press this. Okay, I don't want to take off right here in my house, but that's how you launch it. Cool. And then we have video and pictures. So if we press the picture button, that brings us into our local photos. Pressing that brings us to video or camera, and then pressing on that will take the shot or the video. Start and stop the video. No SD card popped up because I don't have an SD card in there. So interesting. So very, very well done here. It looks like they are getting their stuff together with these kind of applications. This is the first time I've seen this app. You can see that we have readouts up here. Altitude, distance from us or its home position, our speed in meters per second, our HD video signal, and our controller signal, and our satellites. So inside, not very good. We have 0 satellites, 100% battery power. Let's click on the settings again and just really see what we can do. So first thing that comes up is parameters. We have default height of a waypoint, It's at 30 meters. You can go from 5 to 300 meters per waypoint. Max height of a waypoint, you can adjust that too. It looks like you can go over 300 meters if you wanted to. Max distance of flying route. Wow, so you can go up to 1500 meters of a waypoint flying route. Max flight radius of waypoint mission. So you can go up to 1500 meters radius, so that's a circle around you. Max stay time in every waypoint. So you can set the max up to 600 seconds, it looks like. So it'll just sit there between 0 and 600 seconds before it goes to the next waypoint. Interesting. Click on the controller here, and virtual joystick shows fixedly on or off. Okay, joystick mode, mode 2, mode 1. I want mode 2 for left-hand throttle. Take off only when GPS signal is well. Yes, you usually want that because you don't want it to take off and take the wrong home point when the GPS has not acquired a lock. So I would recommend not flying this in the house, that's for sure. Rotate screen automatically. Scrolling up here, we have a joystick operation mode. Looks like kind of different rates. So you can, if you're a beginner, click on that and it basically kind of puts in an exponential. So it'll make it slower, easier to fly, a little more sluggish, or all the way to advanced, it'll make it really snappy. Using remote control, let's go ahead and click on that. Bluetooth permission request. Allow it to access Bluetooth. Okay, wow, interesting. So if you wanted to use a Bluetooth remote, you can put in a Bluetooth remote control and link it to your phone and have that option. So that's cool. And it looks like that's all that we can do for the controller. Let's go to map. Icon of aircraft always show at right center of the map. Okay, we'll go ahead and leave that off for now. Default map mode. Standard satellite or mixed. I want to go mixed. And then we'll go sample precision of waypoint drawing. Not sure what that means, but we'll just leave it stock for now. So that's our map. Relay. So that's a relay with the H501A. This one came with that relay. So I guess you can use that same, it's kind of like a Wi-Fi booster that you attach your controller into or your phone into, and it boosts the Wi-Fi. So apparently you can use that for this as well. So that's neat. They're making stuff cross-compatible. Let's go to others. And let's see what this is. So we have app version, aircraft software version. You can see all my versions here. FC software version, flight controller, aircraft model, H507A, GPS accuracy test. Of course, that's not going to work. Timeout for GPS accuracy test. So you can change all this stuff. Bind aircraft to current device. Bounded is saying there. So it's to the phone, so nobody else can take control over it while it's flying or on. Image transmission, check marked on. Horizontal calibration, novice guide. So say if you want a novice guide, that gets you back into the manual. So pretty neat. I like this. It's looking really good. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's going to do it for our on the table unbox and setup. Let's get this bad boy all charged up again, get out there to the park and do our thorough flight test and our pros and cons. Let's go fly. Alright guys, so we're at the park with the little X4 Star. I got a 16 gigabyte memory card slid in here so we can have some high definition footage on the camera as well as my phone. I'm going to go ahead and record the phone. I'll have the phone up in a little box and also the going in and out of the high definition video on the screen so you can just see how good this thing performs. So let me go boot this thing up. You can see that we do have some wind. We're getting about, I'd say 5 to 10 coming from this direction. So we'll see how it handles in a little bit of wind. Probably not the best environment right now with this wind to test its functions, but it's not always calm, so at least it'll give us an idea of how it performs in some windy conditions. Binding to device and GPS accuracy test. Let's just do what it tells us to do. Good GPS accuracy. Okay, great. So everything is done and it looks like we've got only 5 satellites, so I guess we're gonna have to wait maybe for a minute to get a couple more satellites. 5 satellites really isn't good at all as far as the drone accuracy realm. So let's wait just for a minute to let it acquire a little more satellite positioning if it can. It's saying on the top of the screen you can see their weak GPS signal. So it won't even allow us to take off because we do have it not to let us take off until there's enough GPS satellites. So there we go. So it looks like 6 is the magic number. So you see how that weak GPS signal in red turned the motor locked. And now we're up to 8 GPS satellites. So really recommended, once you set it down on the ground, step away from it, give it a minute. You know, you're not going to really use up much battery power. It's still at 100%. Really, it's more important to have that return to home be precise instead of not waiting and it, you know, having a flyaway. So I really recommend that. Okay, cool. So we're ready to go. So we can see my controls appear on the screen, but I'm not going to be taking off yet because I haven't armed the motors yet. What I want to do is I want to start recording with the video camera. So I'm pressing on video camera. Okay, so video is recording and I'll have that up on the screen. We're going to be able to see that when we lift off. And without further ado, let's go ahead and lift off. We have 10 satellites. That should be enough accuracy to get us home. So I'm pressing the lift off, the H function with the arrow pointing up, and pressing OK. It arms its motors automatically. Spins for a second. And lifts off. Awesome. Okay, and it looks like it's going to get up to about head height. You can see our altitude is 2.5 meters about. Okay, cool. So, you know, this is not a stabilized camera, so the camera is going to be a little bit choppy. We'll have that up on the screen. Let's just go ahead and do a yaw here. So this is full yaw. A little bit of wander, just a tad. But when I let off, it's trying to get back to its last known coordinate there, so not bad. Cool, so let's see if we just don't touch the altitude and fly straight ahead. As far as the hovering goes, maybe we'll do a little quick hover test. We only have 9 minutes of flight, so I got to do this pretty quick. So it is looking good. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in and watching. A little bit of fluctuation in the altitude, that could be because of the air, but it does look like it's hovering fairly well, very similar to the H502, if you guys remember my review on that. Okay, so yep, it's dropping a little. 92% power. Oh, that's our full throttle up speed. Okay, I don't see any altitude speed, but I am going full throttle down now. Oh, there's some bees up there. Let's see if we can get those on camera. Oh my gosh, they're like right under it. They're trying to take it down. They love HUBSAN stuff for some reason. Look at all those bees. Holy smokes, I better not get in the way of it. Another bee attack. Full pitch forward. This is how fast it's gonna fly. In this mode I'm in, I think I'm in intermediate. And you see how even with the wind, it's gonna slow itself down to keep that speed. And that's about, with the wind, about 3 meters per second. Bees are still following it. You know what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go into options. And I'm going to go into controller. Operating mode. There we go. I'm going to go into advanced. Go back out. Let's see if that's faster. Yes, it does seem a little faster. Just barely, about 3 meters per second max. Oh, maybe a little faster. Okay. Anyway, that's manual flight. So that kind of dropped on its own there. Looks like the bees went away. Don't want to get too close with phone control because it's not super precise. But there's our speed. Okay, so let's do a little bit of these advanced functions now, because we barely have any power with this 9 minutes of flight time. It does go pretty quick coming down though. That's pretty cool. Okay, advanced functions. Let me get up a little bit. Clicking on this icon here. Let's do follow me, just in case we don't have time for waypoint. Follow me mode. take the aircraft to a height of 3 meters, maintain distance of 5 meters. Okay, so let's go to, it's doing it on its own. Kind of went right over me, didn't it? Okay, everything's recording. And up on the right I see a stop. So if I wanted to stop it, I could. It's a little too close and I'm out of picture. You can see that. It doesn't know where I am. So I'm gonna back it up. Back it up a bit. Let's back up. Okay. And it looks like that cancels out of follow me, so keep that in mind. So you can't rotate the camera in this, so you're gonna need to back up or do whatever to get whatever you want to follow in view. I'm gonna go back a little. That's a little better, but the wind's making it tilt up a little bit. Let's back up. Let's try that again. From this distance, definitely a very shaky picture. Follow me, go. Let's see what it does. If I walk right, so it's not turning the head, is it? Maybe it is. Nope. So it's locking its, yeah, it's locking its head. But it is following, so it's just like the H501S. Wherever you set it, it's gonna lock that distance and it's bearing to you. And if I walk forward, it'll go back and keep that distance. So it's already saying the battery's low. So we better hurry up, okay. So I'm gonna stop the follow me mode. So it says follow me mode exited. And whoops, let's see what else we can do. Back on there. Let's try orbit. So I'm gonna go a little bit closer. Maybe right here. We wanna definitely be in camera. So quickly try orbit. Okay. Battery level 35%. Oh, so you can't do that, man. You gotta do it quick. So I can't even do an orbit. What about waypoint? Please adjust the map to the proper size. So I can't really see anything on the map because I don't have that image in there, but I'm just gonna try to draw one. Wow, you can do point of interest and everything. So I'm just gonna do a line. Let's try it. So it's giving me a warning that the battery's too low. So we're gonna have to do a couple separate videos for this because we really don't have much time at all to do anything because it's such a short flight time. You can see that we're already at, what is this, 28%. So let's just do a return to home. Let me go back into manual control and get out there. Get out and high up. And maybe we'll be doing a range test too. I'm just gonna go way the heck up here as high as I can. And out. I also want to take a couple pictures probably. Oh, that way. Go. Okay, it's pretty far up there. Okay. Yeah, so we still have signal that far away. I'm gonna stop the recording and I'm gonna take a couple pictures. So going in the camera so you guys can see what the pictures are like. So it's turning. Is it returning to home on its own perhaps? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So it has an automatic return to home, guys. That's pretty neat. So hopefully if those pictures took, I'll have them pop up on the screen. But that's pretty neat. It does an automatic return to home, and look at that on the left. It's actually showing the arrow, an animated arrow on the app. Going down to the home position, so I'll let you know what's going on. That's pretty cool. So it's gonna sit there. Let's see if it turns off its motors. Yes, it did. Okay, cool. So they updated the firmware to be a little more advanced now on return to home and stuff. So that seems pretty accurate. You know what, I forgot to put a marker, but I have to say that that's within a few feet of where I launched. I know I was out from my chair about this far, so that's pretty exact, to tell you the truth. Within a few feet, definitely of return to home. So just make sure you wait for those satellites to be at least 6 and you'll get a good return to home. So we only got 21% left, guys, so I'm gonna have to do some more videos for this thing. Let's see if it lets us take off again. If I press up, are you sure? Okay. Well, it's letting us take off at 21% power. For giggles, let's go ahead and see what happens. Let's take another picture. Giving us a warning. I did hear a sound, but I didn't get any information that the picture was being taken. Let's just see what happens. Whoa. Is it landing? Oh, not sure what it was doing there. Yeah, so it's going kind of into like a slow landing mode. Oh, now I'm holding full throttle up and it won't let me go up. And that happened. Oh, it's saying 0% on the power. So not advisable to do that. I'm just doing that for the flight test here, so you know what happens when you completely exhaust the battery. So the motors aren't turning off when you do this forced landing. So recommend definitely, let's see if I push down. Are you sure you want to land? Yes. Will the motors turn off? Yikes. So okay, there, they turned off. So maybe something they can work on, if it does a forced landing and you do that situation I did, they should really make the motors turn off. But it looks like you have to press land because it thinks it's still flying, and then after 10 seconds the motors will turn off, and then it tells you you can launch again. So it means it's landed. All right, cool. So no battery because it's NA, and that's because the whole quad just shut off. So a good test, so you guys know what to expect. And it does that because it doesn't want to really ruin your battery. So hopefully the battery is okay. But that was just the first charge in this battery. Battery feels a little hot. So let's go ahead and go through a little pros and cons, guys, with the X4 Star H507A. And I definitely like the look of it. It's kind of cool. The video wasn't that great as far as what I could see on my screen, and I hope that video saved on the craft. Well, it probably did because I stopped the video before it lost power. So I'll have the video and the pictures up on the screen. I'll have had those up so you can see just what was going on. And you can also use this with that Wi-Fi extender relay that Hubsan has. I'm currently in review of the H50, what was it, the 501A craft that has a little booster that comes with it, and you put your phone in and basically you can connect your Wi-Fi to the booster and you can get way better range. But I was able to get all the way across the park here. That's a few hundred feet without any issue. It's just the video is not going to be stabilized or anything, kind of like the H502 was, their brushed version as well, the older brushed version. But I will say I'm pretty amazed at the really in-depth app they have now. They really worked on their app and they made it pretty crazy with a lot of features. That's pretty cool. It's just the flight time on this, that's the big negative. 9 minutes. I'm not even sure if I got 9 minutes. I will have the time pop up on the screen here so you guys can see just how long that flew for me, all the way until the battery turned off. So you know what to expect on that. And again, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Don't do the battery. Don't fly until the battery's dead, because that's not good for your battery. I'm gonna want to get this on a charger right away. But as far as like the follow me and stuff, kind of like the H501S was, the head just stays locked at you, and then it's just kind of a locked in follow where it'll just keep its distance from you and its position, and wherever you move it'll keep its head locked and it will either roll or pitch. Otherwise it was okay. I recommend if you are going to fly this thing and you want to take some decent video, try to fly it in like 0 wind, because any kind of wind, you can see the wind I have here, it's really only about 5 miles per hour now, and it really messes up the video stability. And again, I'll have the pictures and the videos up on the screen so you could have seen those. But that's the initial flight tests, guys. We basically only got to do the follow me and basic flight. It's kind of sort of a range test. We know it can handle a few hundred feet of range with the cell phone Wi-Fi. So I'm going to do another video just strictly testing those advanced flight modes. We need to do waypoint flight. Maybe I'll do a couple videos. We need to do waypoint flight. We need to do circle around point. And I think those are the only ones. The return to home, again, was very good, excellent, and I really liked that when the battery got low enough, it knew it needed to come home. So that's a big improvement on HUBSAN stuff. They're little ones like this. If I remember correctly, the H501S, when I reviewed that a long time ago, it didn't really have that feature. It would just land wherever it was. So looks like they're improving, and definitely good improvements. Anyways, I will have the link to this guy down in the description, guys. Leave a comment, click on that link if you want to see more in-depth specs on this and also pricing. But for a beginner GPS drone, it sure does have a lot of features with this new app. Pretty cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.